Welcome back. I'm Adrienne, your expert on all things custom home building and luxury. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Tell a friend how much fun we have on the Fraser Homes channel. So, today we are going to talk about construction do's and don'ts. Now, you all have been on our website, and we have a two-part blog that talks about construction do's and don'ts. So, we'll link that below. I hope that you will spend time reviewing that blog because it is going to get a little bit more detail on the do's and don'ts. But today I would like to talk about the do's. So here are the do's. Obviously, you need to dream big, okay? So we don't believe in cookie cutter here at Fraser Homes. We want some pizzazz. We want some wow. And that means we want different color brick. We want stone. We want pools. We want theater rooms, golf simulators, bowling alleys, indoor sport courts, indoor libraries, and the list goes on. All of these things we like to do in our Fraser Home products. We are not, by any stretch of the imagination, doing anything that's run of the mill. So, if you are going to get a Fraser Home, you have to think outside of the box. You have to dream big. The next is you have to embrace the details. And there are lots and lots of details when it comes to Fraser Homes. Everything you are selecting, how many can lights do I want in one particular room? Do I want that can light to be a 6-inch can or a 4-inch can? Do I want a bathtub filler that is deck mounted or that it is floor mounted? The details. We want you to be thinking about the details. Why is this stuff important? And that goes into how you live. Remember, we've talked about that we're not just designing pretty, we are designing functional. And we want it to be based off of how you live. So, do you need to have a curbless shower because you understand about aging in place? You want to age in place. You want your family to be able to get in and out of the shower if you're going to have an aging loved one that's going to live with you. All of those things, we want you to think about the details. The details certainly matter. How big do you want your pantry? How big do you want your closets? How big do you want your bathroom? If you're not thinking about the details, you'll go through the schematic phases and then you'll stand in your pantry and you'll feel bummed out because it's not as big as you would like with the appliances that you would like to store, etc., etc. So that's a do. Make sure you're thinking about the details. Next is prioritize comfort. Okay, so while you may very much want to have that sitting room that is just for your antiques, you want to make sure that you're thinking about your comfort. And that is also with different smells, your different senses. So, is it going to be comfortable for you to have your great room right adjacent to your kitchen and you love to cook with garlic? Is that comfortable? All of those things you need to be thinking about. Oftentimes, people don't want to talk about those things, but it's important. An example is that we build for a lot of communities where they have what's called a grease kitchen. So they will prepare all of their uh, different dishes that have a lot of spices and have a lot of smells, and they'll do that in their grease kitchen so that it is not affecting the overall comfort of the entire home. And so that is something that you have to think about yourself, okay? Another to do is make sure that you enjoy the process. We talked about it in another episode where we talked about having too much anxiety and how that's a big no no. You need to enjoy the process. The process is not just the actual construction piece, but it is getting to hand select. Can you imagine where you have a builder that doesn't tell you, here are your options, pick A, B, or C? We don't restrict you. We tell you that you can pick whatever you want. You can have the lighting that you want. You can have the flooring that you want, whatever that you want. provided that that aligns with your budget. And so those are the big to dos. Okay. Dream big, prioritize, enjoy the process, and embrace the power of the details. Now, what are the do nots? Do not forget about practicality. Okay. So the practical aspect of how you live is important. Remember, we talked about it. It's about your lifestyle. So, how practical is it for you to have your office in the basement when you have all of your time spent on the main floor? How practical is that? Is it more practical for you to have an elevator in your home? Is it more practical for you to have your garage in a certain area versus on one side? Think about that because it will help with the architectural design. And if you are interested in speeding up the process in terms of construction, being practical, understanding what you need and how you live is going to be huge. Now, do not go overboard with themes. Okay, so we've seen it time and time again. Trends come and go. We know that even the 2025 color of the year is like a purple, magenta type color. Everybody's going wild with these colors and they're beautiful. But is this a timeless approach to your beautiful custom home? You'll have to make that decision, but don't go overboard with the themes and the trends. Shag carpets, lots of dark woods, and even now, the grays and the whites, those trends are starting to fade away. Again, you need to make sure that you're staying focused. Remember, that's back to the anxiety. Stay focused, know what your style is, be consistent, and choose timeless over trendy. All right. And the last one is don't keep looking because it makes the process harder for you to nail down. It makes the process harder for you to commit. And so there you have it, the do's and the don'ts. You do want to get exactly what you want, and the only way you can do that is when you build with a fully custom home builder. If you do not have a fully custom home builder, you will have to go with some of the pre-adopted options. You remember when we had Brandy as a guest, she talked about how she was not able to get the closet system that she wanted because it was already defined for her with her builder. If you want exactly what you want, do go with a fully custom home builder. And the biggest don't out of all that list is make sure that you're practical and make sure you're designing for the lifestyle that you have and the lifestyle that is coming. If you're planning on aging in place, if you're planning on entertaining quite a bit, think about that in terms of your lifestyle. And there you have it. And so, if your builder is not talking to you about the do's and don'ts, which is a brother to making sure that we don't have anxiety that is always looming in our minds during the construction process, it may mean they don't know the difference.